Hey, what's up guys? How's it going? So we are going to be talking about KVK. Of course, you guys probably all know that KVK was kind of iffy. Mostly because they changed the way we can gather points. You can no longer gather this time around, which, I mean, in my opinion, wasn't so great. But, of course, in the end, we ended up winning as a kingdom versus 274. So, of course, what exactly went down? So, if we look, you'll notice that it says that 274 won, and yet 281 is second. Yet it says we won. A little weird. And, of course, to make things even more confusing, you then go to the top in the solo war, and there are only like a handful of players that had gotten an enormous number of points, most of which, from the mid up to 20, anywhere and up and above, right? Now, of course, I ended up pulling it at 14 million points. And in case you're wondering, how did I manage 14 million? I'll go ahead and show you here in a bit. But needless to say, yeah, it was a little weird. This KVK, but needless to say, whatever the heck causes that, I don't know, but this is probably a bug. That's just my guess. I don't know, but I personally don't feel as if this KVK was any good anyway, though, because to be honest with you, it's one kingdom. Make it worse, you then take away the ability for people to gather, and then expect them to do Lord's Ball, which I never liked Lord's Ball to begin with. So the fact that they kind of force that on other people, I really don't feel like is something I agree with, really. I feel like that's a change that I think should have been tested, because I really don't think, at least in my opinion, I don't feel like it was really a good change. I think it was rather, it made this game a little bit more frustrating. But needless to say, in case you guys are wondering, of course, I didn't really run into the luck that I was hoping for. So, of course, I did end up getting rank 63, so the loot wasn't, terrible, by any means. But, not really anybody was gonna rally. There wasn't really too many rally targets going around. But to give you kind of a short synopsis of the video that I'm fixing to show you, is these are the kind of reports that, we were pulling up. So, 97,000, 81,000, 86,000, 96,000. And yeah, I mean, these aren't they're not tiny rallies by any means. They're not essentially what I was doing, right, is I wasn't sitting there trying to eat solos. I wasn't going around solo attacking everybody I saw. I wasn't trying to rally anybody, but frankly, I wish I could have done that more. I just really didn't have the opportunity. But I was able to basically garrison trap, and we pulled off some pretty sick looking garrison traps throughout the entire event. So a lot of these guys, I mean, yeah, it looks on face value, it doesn't look that great, but believe me, it's really not that bad. And again, just looking back and back to back, it's well, it doesn't matter really who it was. Somebody always messed up. Of course, I'll show you how I did this here in a bit. But of course, if you guys actually want to watch it, you can actually see how I did it. But I mean, as you can tell, 76,000 reds. And again, I'm only taking 10,000 or so wounds. So it's a flat out easy win. And part of the reason why this worked the way it does is because basically I just know what troop comp they're sending on the alternate account, and then I just counter it. It literally takes 2 seconds. A lot of the time these guys fail to react in time, and so they wind up losing. And of course, obviously, in some extreme cases, all right, I had some people that thought they could try and double it, like this guy did. So he sent all tier 3, but the problem is tier 3 will never beat tier 4. Make matters worse, of course, the next guy came through, and you'll notice that I'm not able to switch the phalanx. But really, in these kind of situations, the only thing that matters is really the composition. And so this guy, more or less the same, tier 3, no matter how many times you try it, cavalry is gonna probably kick your butt no matter what. And so this ended up falling flat on its face every single time. And then, of course, at the very last part of KVK, of course, I had somebody that thought, well, I'll just send 200,000. And obviously, no wounds there and an easy 80,000 cataphracts, which is always easy to rack up. But, again, might-wise, pretty tiny. But yeah, that was pretty much it for my KVK. It wasn't exactly, it wasn't as exciting as you would like to think it would have been. Obviously, as you guys probably all know, I'm still, I know it's been a long week. You guys are probably wondering, well, what are we going to be talking about next week? What are we going to be, is there going to be any rally traps, right? And again, the thing about rally trapping is that it can be done, but once you do it once in a kingdom, it's really hard to get them to actually do it again. Especially since I'm not really in a war kingdom, and I've done the math on it, and I don't really even think I'm spec'd out enough to really. I'm weary of fighting somebody in full gold champ. It's like I'm a little weary of it, and so for that reason, I'm still building up. In a perfect world, I think I really kind of want to build up like another million, maybe a couple million more tier 2, just to give myself a sense of security. Because again, up to this point, I can't really eat marches on my own. And so the only thing I can really do is just continue to improve. Now, of course, the cool part about being able to kind of just sit around and kind of enjoy the situation that I'm in is that, there's going to be a lot of times where players like, out in the kingdom are going to go around and they try to hit on under, and I just wind up cleaning them straight out. But obviously, I hope you guys kind of enjoy your KVK. Let me know what you guys think of this KVK overall, because, I personally wasn't too particularly fond of this, the move that they made to actually step up and be like, this KVK has got to have, the Lord's Ball event. Like, personally, I didn't find that that event was really a positive change, but let me know what you guys think. Because again, I really kind of wish that hopefully they don't do that again. I personally don't feel like Lord's Ball has any business being in our KVK at all. And frankly, I just don't feel like it's. I don't really like it. It's not something that I want forced on anybody. I think if there was a positive change, though, that I really do think would be kind of a nice, maybe a better use of. If we're gonna switch how points are gonna get earned, then why don't you, maybe make it so that players can go around and do Dark Nests and enemy kingdoms or something like something like that would be a little bit more positive than, say, like going around and telling them, oh, and by the way, now you cannot gather and you must go out and do the Lord's Ball event. Okay, I don't really necessarily agree with that. And I know a lot of you out there that have probably played this game for a long time, or just like fighting in general, and you're probably thinking, well, why is it exactly are we the support and the gatherers the ones who are shielded all the time? Well, look, I hate to break it to you, but I'm pretty sure this KVK, I don't think it really made a difference. It's like, on one hand, the idea would be to try to get people to stop gathering, but I don't think that really changed the fact that the people that stay shielded are still going to stay shielded. So not only was gameplay pretty goddamn dead, like it always is in a 1v1 KVK, but it got worse by the fact that now no one in those middle tiers really had a chance at getting the points at all anyway. Because really, the people that are small enough and don't have the kind of might, they don't have the same kind of, troop capacity that, like, people around them do, then they're kind of, like, completely... they don't really get a choice, It's like, it's one of those things that, like, I don't necessarily know if that was really the best move, on their department to really push for that kind of change, because I really don't feel like, I think it was a step in the wrong direction, because it's just not something that I feel like it just really doesn't belong. And really, I feel like it would have been all right if they'd left gathering in there, but I just feel as if the option to completely stop that whole process is not really helping the situation, because it really, I think for a majority of the smaller players, really got negatively impacted by that. And obviously, for me, I didn't really struggle too much, and that's me. I don't really worry about struggling because it's not really that difficult, but looking at how I'm 14 million, and then there's like hardly anyone in my guild that was able to score. I mean, that kind of gives you an idea of just how bad it was. Because, I don't know, like, you know, seeing as how, like, a majority of the players that are in this guild are in anywhere from, like, 40 to 80 mil. Yeah, and you can argue that you could probably rack some points up pretty quick. And you can, but it's still really difficult, especially since, I don't know, you know, it's just for me. From what I can tell, it just isn't, it's not plausible for a lot of them. If you weren't trying to hold forts, rally, I mean, I think for a lot of the mid-tier, upper-tier, higher-end players, they didn't really notice this as bad, but, like, I feel like for the majority of people on the very bottom, that they had to have felt this, you know, this impact almost right away. But again, like I said, you know, let me know what you guys think. I'm currently I'm opposed to this current change, and I'm really hoping they don't do it again, because I personally don't like it. But needless to say, I hope you guys kind of learned a thing or two about that, and of course, stay tuned for the videos that I've got coming up for basically how I went about trapping and KVK, and needless to say, I'll see you guys next time.